Now we review the 2024 film Miller's Girl. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen Miller's Girl, which is a $4 million Jenna Ortega film that grossed less than $2 million at the box office, so it was an utter flop. Limited release. And Jenna Ortega plays a high school super nerd slut with her slutty virgin friend who both decide that the thing to do is bang their teachers. So they both hatch weird plots to seduce their teachers, who I believe are both married men. And when the teachers are not down with this, the nerd slut virgin complains and says that, she was sexually something or other by her teacher. Yeah. Somebody said that this was sexy without nudity, and I didn't find it very sexy, which I guess is okay because you've got women playing underage characters, and, them being underage characters, you're like, nah, that shouldn't be sexy. High school girls, you shouldn't want to see their boobies, even though, they could have said, she was a senior in high school, so 18. It could have made that legal. But, on the one hand, I remember people talking about at least a novel of very similar nature to this, where the lie is what was predominant. And I even knew a girl in junior high school who was, she was one of those, she dressed like very adult dress. She was kind of a chubby girl, so she developed early, or at least had what looked like breasts. I mean, they could have just been, I guess, legally speaking, they would have been breasts. But I mean, she was this kind of slutty dressing, she had her, I'm a highbrow, this is a secretary that you're going to bang look. And she had the lowbrow, these are my tight jeans, look at my rear end look. And, and as a junior high schooler, interesting character. Disturbing, but, So I've known people like this. I've known these underage girls that, were hypersexualized, and it's disturbing. And this movie was kind of supposed to be disturbing and controversial, although one of the things I have to say is what do we take away from this film? Because, you have an English teacher. The English teacher is the one she wants to bang. And him being an English teacher, there's an assignment. And he's like, you're really smart, so I'm going to give you leeway. You can write in the style of this one author who's pornographic. And, it's like, as a teacher, this was a gray area. And he does other things that are, 100% inappropriate, like smoking with this woman or whatever have you. And, yeah, one side of this would be maybe you shouldn't be a teacher. That's kind of, I mean, it's like, look, in college, I will tell you this much. Teachers are banging students, or at least trying to, left and right. I had a number of teachers who were like, we should bang. And I was like, I hate you so much that I'm not going to bang you. And a couple of them where it was too ambiguous for me to make a move. But most of the ones that were obvious, it was the only reason somebody would stick something in your mouth is to stop you from talking. So, I mean, I don't get the appeal that much, but there being the thing is that this movie, I guess its moral is, wherever there is doubt, there will be no doubt. Even if you're basically innocent. Because, I mean, the guy, he found the spot to say, no, this is as far as you go. And it was too far for most people because the image of impropriety was there. But then there are other problems with this movie, like how is this woman, at whatever age she is, living alone? Her parents are never seen in the movie. She lives in a really big house. It's, fairly wealthy. We never see any servants. So there's a lot of, what is going on with this person? If she's not of legal age, then why is she living alone? And if she is of legal age, the guy stopped. So yeah, this movie, it wasn't all that entertaining. It was a lot of talking. It was really more of what I would call a stage play type of a film than an actual live action. There isn't a lot of things that needed to be there to make this film what it was. And I just, this belongs in the lower half of your watch list unless you're an Ortega fan. It's not that great of a movie, It's just, there isn't enough here. Okay, this is a pretty girl, but she's playing a character that is the forbidden fruit. And unless that sort of thing jives to you, it's not worth it. It's just kind of a dull story otherwise. If this were set on a college campus, it would make more sense as opposed to it being a high school, because the themes are kind of, nonsensical. And yeah, it's natural for younger people, for people in high school, to be attracted to older people who are more fertile, more established, better able to take care of their offspring. That's perfectly natural. But, I think there was an interview where the star says, this film was supposed to be controversial. No, it's not controversial. Some really smart chick hatched a plot to destroy her jilted lover, and that's the world you live in. And that's just what it is. So yeah, I cannot recommend this film. I didn't think it was that great. It's low on the watch list. It's a very, it's a drama. And being a drama, I saw the reviews, I think it was getting 6.5, which is actually pretty good for an IMDb. But, it's just one of those things. If you're into this kind of movie, then watch this movie. But if you're not into this movie, if this sort of thing, if the horrible person doesn't apply to you, if you don't want to see a horrible person doing horrible things, then don't watch this movie. If you do, then this movie is for you. Anyway, I know I've kind of given this some spoilers, but it's the what, not the how. But anyway, so there you are. Miller's Girl, not my type of film, not my cup of tea, and really the numbers show that it just wasn't that great. Anyway, just my opinion. Love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard.
Ladies, gentlemen, and human-type persons, I am Sergeant Duck, and I am tasking you with commenting on this video. You should also like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends and make a better, more disciplined world for you and for me. Dismissed!